Stage Wonder coming at you from my favorite blackberry bush down by the river. Okay, so a lot's been going on this week and this weekend. And if you have been watching this channel, you know that some 6 months ago I came before you and said, look, I think we are involved in the very beginnings of a civil war in the United States of America. And I'm coming to you again now with a similar thing to say, but I think we're at the very beginnings of World War III. That what is happening, what is the future that is coming for Americans, is that we must endure a simultaneous civil war coupled with a World War III type of conflict that's happening on a global scale. And that one of the mastermind ideas behind World War III and the planners of it was to take some powerful countries and turn them against themselves so they're not so powerful anymore, so that they are distracted from what is going on, a global power grab, a new world order establishment, the beginning of one world government. What are you gonna do, Pinky? The same thing we always do, said the brain. We're gonna try and take over the world. There are people that are trying to take over the world, is what I'm telling you. It's a quest that never ends, and you think once we've learned our lesson that would be the end of it, but it's a lesson we have to keep learning over and over and over again. So, there are places like Hungary and Poland that have put their foot down, and they are still maintaining their nationalist governments. But other countries have been taken over by this deep state government, shadow government that came out of nowhere, really, to seize control of these nations and strip them of their national rights, making them succumb to this global entity, this ideology that all people of the world have to think alike, and we all have to be alike, and we all have to talk alike, and we all have to walk alike. You know, where that's opposed to the idea of freedom, where I get to be who I want to be. I can be a long-haired crazy freak. I can be a cowboy. You know, I can be a politician. I can be a dentist. I can disappear into the woods and be a mountain man. I have freedom of movement, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of self-defense, freedom to remain private and not snooped upon. So you've got this global government hive mentality versus the idea of freedom. And it's coming to a head, not just in America, but in the whole world. But there are countries right now that are split in ideology and ways of thinking. And some of that is beginning to come to a head in places like Sweden. And so there's going to be these series of civil wars to deplete the power of the powerful countries. And then the rest of the countries like Hungary and Poland will be taken by force, more than likely, by the globalists if they refuse to, kowtow to what they have planned for them. What do they have planned for us? I don't know. Look no further, if you ask me, than the video I did, MK Ultra trainer story, the long game. Because ultimately, they're going to engineer a series of events that's going to bring about a war, and when the smoke clears, they will be the ones in charge of everything. That's what they're planning. It's, I guess, up to the people of the United States, the people of the world who want to keep their way of life the way that their life is. They want to maintain their way of life. They don't want to give up their rights to the globalists. It's up to us who think this way to stand up and say, no, we do not submit. This is going to mean war on a local level, on a national level, and on an international level. That we are entering a new phase of humanity like we have not seen in 75 or 80 years. That it's almost like a repeating of a cycle. This thing in Syria is the spark. There's a lot of little sparks, honestly, that's creating these embers that are going to burst into the flames of war. One of them is this poisoning of their own spies by Russia in Great Britain, in the UK. Now we've got this Syrian false flag, maybe? Syrian gas attack by somebody? We don't know. It's all cordoned off. No one knows what's going on. The president right now, even as I'm making this video, is about to speak on what he might or might not do in response to all these children being killed with what looks like sarin gas. The world is in such turmoil right now, from elections to the internet, freedom of speech. You know, your rights to express yourself are being controlled by your overlords. I mean, what is it? Is it Sugar and Spice, Satin and Lace? Who are those people? You know who they are. They were censored from Facebook because they're dangerous? Come on now. How can a couple of little old ladies that look like somebody's mom be dangerous to the community? What are they teaching them, how to make some kind of drug or something? How dangerous? What are they doing that makes them so dangerous? They're just doing what free people do. They're expressing themselves like I am right here. But that's dangerous to the globalist, to the hive mentality that says you got to walk the way I walk, talk the way I talk, do the things I do, say the things I tell you to say. This is in opposition to freedom. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. My privacy is my freedom, my right to self-defense. Come on, people. If we don't fight for it now, we're going to lose it. We're losing it in this country and across the globe. There's a dark, dark cloud descending upon the earth, and I don't know how to stop it except to speak about it. And so that's what I do. I speak about it, and I encourage you to speak about it. This is the info war. This is not just the Cold War in the United States. This is the Cold War for World War III as well. God save our republic and all free-thinking people throughout this world that he made. Amen.